Hey guys, welcome to The Progressive Vibe. I'm your host, Dottie. Today is February 21st, 2021. This is Season 3, Episode 6, and the title of this episode, Biden's Milwaukee Town Hall, Texas Winter Storm. So we're going to get into President Biden's town hall he had last Tuesday. Also, giving my thoughts and prayers to the people in Texas. They had a huge winter storm, so we're going to get into that today. First things first, I hope everyone has been well, staying safe out there. And before we get into today's episode, I wanted to also say voice messages. No matter where you listen, and even if you don't have the Anchor app, you can send me audio messages. If you want to let me know how I'm performing, good or bad, that would be very helpful. Or if you have general questions or thoughts concerning the news that we discuss at hand, I will include your messages in the podcast episodes. Also, I will have the voice message link attached to this episode. On that note, let's get into today's episode, guys. This is a piece written by Yuval Rosenberg from the Fiscal Times. The title is called Five Policy Takeaways from Biden's Milwaukee Town Hall. I just wanted to share my takeaways from the town hall. Again, the article will be attached with the episode. So if you like to read this yourselves, you can do so. So he talks about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big points that everybody's pretty much that's on everybody's mind pretty much. Vaccinations, the COVID relief plan, the student loan debt forgiveness, school reopenings, and $15 minimum wage. So my thoughts on the vaccinations, he was saying that he was going to buy $100 million more of Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, which is good. So he's going to 50-50 it, 50% Pfizer, 50% Moderna. But he's also being realistic by saying that, it's going to take time and, God willing, as he said, by next Christmas, things will, quote unquote, look somewhat normal. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't know. I mean, it's just one of those things to where like you just gotta keep doing the necessary protocols that people who have been working on this, studying these things, they're called scientists, hint, hint, follow the data, follow the science. There's new variants that's been detected from South Africa and the UK. I'm hearing that South Africa's variant is a little bit more aggressive than the UK variant, but the UK variant is from what Dr. Fauci said, that's going to be the most dominant variant in the United States come springtime. But if we start again, if we keep continuing to wear our mask and social distance the best you can, and all the protocols and stuff that, like, hopefully you've already heard or read. If people can do that, then maybe the numbers will continue to trend in the right direction. Death counts per day are down. Uh, Cases per day are down. Um, it's kind of it's kind of scary because everything it's coming up. It's about to get warmer, and people pretty much already went 1 year without gathering. Me personally, I don't mind not gathering. I'm sort of a homebody anyway. But I don't know. I'm hoping that people will continue to follow the CDC guidelines, and they're even recommending doubling up on your mask. Me personally, I've just been wearing one mask, but I do think that if the CDC is recommending that, I think that that's a pretty that's a pretty good thing to follow. I don't really know what else to say other than that. I'm gonna try to start wearing two masks. Honestly, being realistic about it, though, a lot of people barely want to wear one mask. So if you can get people to wear one mask rather than none at all, uh, some progress is better than none, I suppose. But again, if the CDC recommending that, I think that that's a good call to do so, if you can. Um, the COVID relief plan. Um, Biden's continuing to try to compromise with the opposition party. I don't know why. At this I don't know why. The vast majority of Americans support the bill that the Democrats have constructed. It's supported. Um, it's supported vastly on both sides, either whether you're Democrat or Republican or independent. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 60% of Americans support the COVID relief bill. So I think that it was a huge mistake that Congress went on recess last week. In my opinion, they should have passed the relief bill before they took a 1 week vacation. Um, to me, the need's dire. It seems like from their estimation, the need's dire too. And if you're the Democrats and hold power, um, in all the in government, I just think that strategically that was not a good move by not being more aggressive in passing the $1,400 checks that so many Americans need at this time. Um, I think that Congress supposed to vote on the relief bill this coming up week, which is good. But again, the sooner the better. Um, Man, I just don't know, man. I feel like not being aggressive and having bold policies, I feel like it's going to come to bite Democrats, in the ass. I just feel like it will, if they don't get their act together, because 2022 is right around the corner. That means midterms. So if the Democrats are going to have any hope of keeping power, keeping the numbers in the House, and keeping control of the Senate, I think they need to get their act together, because this slow poking and trying to compromise with the opposition is not going to play well. I don't feel like. If you have Republicans that support your bill, take that as compromise, which it shows. Some Republicans have supports Biden's bill, the Democrats' bill. So I would take that as compromise. I would take that as unity. But again, we're gonna see if Biden starts listening to the progressive caucus more, because that's where the country seems like it's at currently, and it's heading in the future. Just simple as that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to break down the last three topics of the Biden town hall. Stay with us. So it goes on to say Biden talking about student loan debt forgiveness. He says he's prepared to counsel $10,000 and not $50,000, because he feels like he does not have the authority to do so. I don't know what that even means, really, because if you have the authority to counsel $10,000, but not $50,000. So I don't really. He can, through executive action, he can counsel 10,000, but he doesn't have the authority to do it with executive action for $50,000. I don't really know. I don't actually, I do know. But I think it'll be a bad idea or a bad decision on Biden's part if he just decides to go with $10,000 of student loan debt cancellation. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has urged Biden to support the $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness, and Senator Miss Elizabeth Warren. She also has championed the idea. Well, actually, I think it was vice versa. Elizabeth Warren was the first to promote this, and then it was championed by Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and obviously other Justice Democrats. So I think that Biden needs to switch his stance on this. Obviously, I don't know if he's so. And I'm sorry to say, but I'm just being real. I'm don't think he's going to, because he's so in the pockets of these corporate donors. And I mean, they can get behind a $10,000 cancellation, but they can't get behind a $50,000 cancellation, and that's what it's telling me. But we shall see. He also talks about school reopenings. Um, as you know, many teachers have many teachers haven't even gotten the vaccine, let alone the second dosage, which is required. Um, to get back in school and physically teach. So I don't know. His stance on the teachers was he wants to get all the teachers vaccinated, and have all the safety protocols that teachers in these teacher unions have been expressing, because it's been a huge conflict with teachers even deciding to even go back to teaching in-person learning due to the lack of protocols. uh, they want to feel safe to go back and teach. So um, that's I don't know. I don't think that I think that if obviously if they are the right protocols that are in place, and teachers get vaccinated, and this and that, I feel like the age group wise that yeah, K through I don't know, K through middle school should go back, and then just slowly um you know gradually go towards opening high schools all the way in colleges and so forth. But it just seems like the data is showing right now that it's a bunch of teachers, um, you know, throughout the country don't feel comfortable going back to in-person schools due to the lack of protocols that are in place. Um, many, many of these teachers, again, they haven't even got the first vaccination, and a lot of them are in rural areas, and I'm living in a rural area, and I can personally vouch for that, because speak to that. I'm not a teacher, but I can say that I have spoken to teachers that don't feel comfortable going back in person teaching, because the lack of protocols that are put in place. And that's just the thing. If you want your kids to go back to school, if you want the teachers to get back in school, then you need to start acting like it. Because again, obviously the teachers, the biggest teacher union in the country is saying that they don't support going back to in-person learning right now due to the current environment. So that's my take on the school reopenings. Last but not least, the $15 minimum wage. Um, it will be included in the relief package. Pretty sure you guys knew that. It was like a flip flop. We're taking it out, but apparently they're putting it back in. But Biden still says, he's open to negotiations, and I don't know why, because um, just what is it to negotiate? If you're not willing to budge on the amount of the package, then what is it to negotiate on? Um, I just think that, again, Democrats need to be a little bit more aggressive in these stances that they're taking. Um, the question over small businesses, on the cost of higher minimum wage. I mean, to me, that's why you gradually phase this stuff in, because it's going to have to happen one way or another. I mean, wages haven't went up in over 12 years. So, if you do a gradual phase, which Bernie has already said that he's supported, Biden seems to be supporting it. That would lessen the effect of direct impact on small business owners. I mean, just because you have a small business, to me, should not absolve you for uh, giving your employees their fair share of wagerly pay. um, it says that um, Congressional Budget Office says that wage increase to $15 would cost US $1.4 million. Not $1 million, 1.4 million jobs. So this was in the article that I read. It was just saying that $15 minimum wage would cost 1.4 million jobs. Um, to shut that down, people should know that the 1.4 million job loss would result in people who are making $15 an hour. They wouldn't have to work 2 and 3 jobs. So yes, if um, she or him was working 2 or 3 jobs and now they're making $15 an hour on their first job, why would they need their part-time second and third job? So yes, that would result in a job loss, but not in the reason of what to me is trying to be displayed, which is if you increase $15 minimum wage, then people are going to lose their jobs. That's just not accurate. Also, an increase of $15 minimum wage would, as the data shows, would bring about 1 million people out of poverty. So, to me, that is the things that have me supporting $15 minimum wage. I mean, not just that. I mean, I feel like people that work these jobs that um, other people wouldn't want to work. Let's be real. If you're not working in that type of industry because of this reason, okay, well, that should be all enough reason to have these people getting paid their fair share. No matter if that's the uh, restaurant industry, the retail industry, um, truck drivers, farm, whatever the case may be. Small business, I just feel like is just this thing to try to steer people away from thinking about it being a realistic possibility, and it should have been one, honestly. But Anyway, guys, that's my take of it. When we come back, we're gonna have the vent forum of the segment, and then we're gonna talk about Texas briefly. So stay tuned, and yeah, we'll be right back. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Vent Forum. I'm going to move pretty swiftly through these. I'm going to read a couple of comments from Twitter. We're kind of over on time a little bit. Mike Siegel said on Twitter, should Texas forgive all utility bills this month? He has yes under the comment section, yes up under the retweet, and yes under the like button. And so I did all three because yes, I do feel like Texas should be forgiven this month on utility bills, especially because of some of the crazy bills that they're receiving of no fault of their own. It's not the people of Texas' fault that government officials don't take climate change as serious as they should. Obviously, you have officials in Congress that take climate change seriously, and they speak upon that, but it is a large section, which is probably the majority, Democrats and Republicans, that really don't care about climate change as much as they should. On to the next one. AOC says on Twitter, heat in winter and running water should not be privileged commodities for the wealthy. In a modern society, they should be rights, and we will have to fight for these rights as climate change gets worse. That means standing up to the climate crisis profiteers to protect the public. I think she's absolutely right. She was commenting on a post from the Washington Post that read, some Texans got electric bills up to $17,000 after the storm. How does that happen? Corrupt officials. That's how it happens. And last one, this is from Joe Tironi, one of my friends. He said on Twitter, just wanted to pay tribute to my cousin who passed away on Tuesday from COVID-19. Be safe and careful, everybody out there. So unfortunate. He told me a couple of days ago we spoke, and he told me that he unfortunately lost his cousin to COVID-19. Thoughts and prayers goes to Joe and the family out there. That concludes today's Vent Forum, and we will see you back on the remaining of the show. I just want to quickly give my thoughts and prayers to the state of Texas. I actually got a really good buddy of mine that stays in Texas. Fortunately, him and his wife and his kid are doing okay. I think that is his wife's sister lost power, but I think that's about it. So fortunately, everybody's doing okay. That I know personally down there in Texas. unfortunately, it's been a bunch of people that I don't know that has been affected pretty bad by it. Loss of life, uh, no food, power lossage, no water. So I just wanted to take time in this segment to again say that my thoughts and prayers is with the state of Texas. Shout out to um, Beto O'Rourke. If you guys know who he was a Democratic candidate, and he also ran against Ted Cruz for Senate, and he came up just short uh, by getting that Senate seat. I think he's trying to run for governor down there, so good on him. He's been phone banking and gathering people up to phone bank with him, and he's been having his feet on the ground down there and doing what he can down there. So shout outs to him for actually uh, being a leader or showing some leadership other than Ted Cruz, because pretty sure you guys already know Ted Cruz has been trending and all for all the wrong reasons. He decided to dish the snowstorm in Texas, where he's the senator, and he went to Cancun, and he faced some backlash when he got there, and it made him turn around and uh, actually go help his constituents in Texas. Um, so now he's like taking pictures of him putting cases of water in people's car and saying hashtag Texas strong and all this. But you guys know, like I know about Ted Cruz, he's, um, in my opinion, not one of the good guys. As hell, I mean, he just does not show anything that leads me to believe otherwise, based on his policy stances, based on his past uh, statements on numerous things when it comes to immigration and uh, just logic itself. Like um, he doesn't really seem to care a whole lot about uh, people of his state, let alone the people of the United States. It seems like, but anyway, I'm not gonna get into a rant on Ted Cruz. If you guys don't know who he is, really, there are all kind of clips out there, and Google's a thing, and do your research, and you'll see very, very quickly. I just don't understand how he continues to get reelected down there, but it seems like this is uh, the nail in the coffin for him on what he did, taking the trip to Cancun. I mean, I would have thought that being a participant in meaning inciting insurrection, uh, or talking about how fraudulent the past election was and sowing doubt and saying that it was a fraud election, that it wasn't real. I mean, to me, that stuff's dangerous, because you're playing with like truth, um, and it's dangerous when you just start to lie about everything, um, and it almost seemed to work, and it did up until a certain point. I mean, it's kind of like, how far can I just keep lying, to get out the mess that I'm currently in? But anyway, I do want to say shout out to AOC. She raised about $4 million for the state of Texas in a matter of days. Kind of shows again her leadership of it's not even being by especially not even being her state. I mean, AOC is a representative out of New York, and she's down in Texas, helping, giving food out, water and necessities and things. And it's awesome to see people in Congress who have power actually give a damn about everyday folks. But again, just everything that's going on in Texas with the millions of people are still without power, millions of people are still without drinking water. And it's just a sad sight to see when you just have lack of leadership within that state. President Biden has called it a state of emergency. So hopefully in the near future, a lot more aid is going to be administered to the state of Texas. When we come back, we're going to close out the show. Stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back here on The Progressive Vibe. That's going to conclude today's show. You can catch me every Sunday at 4 p.m. We were a little bit over on today's show. Sorry, I can get kind of long-winded. If you're a regular listener of this podcast, then you would know this already. I'm sure you know this already. But yeah, next week we're going to have a guest on, and we're going to talk about how a $15 minimum wage would be beneficial to the service industry. And how do I know this? We're going to have somebody who works in the service industry and is going to discuss how it would be beneficial to them. So that's going to be next week. Yes, I'm going to be switching it up a little bit because I got to keep you guys invested. So yeah, until next Sunday, guys, stay positive, stay progressive, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.